Hello, this is Ron Woody, Roane County Executive. We are doing our Roane Treasures this year at the old Roane County Courthouse. It is November the 12th, 2020. Because of COVID, we're having to do our event just a little bit different, or quite a bit different than we've done in the past, where we generally have all of our Roane Treasures to come to the Roane County Courthouse. We have them lined up so they can talk to each other. We have all their families in. Because of the COVID, we're doing them individually. And at the same time, we recognize that they're limited in the families they can bring and the friends they can bring. And in some cases, they're unable to attend. We have done one already. It was Hope Culberson. He was a World War II veteran who had turned 100 years old this past spring. So it was good to see him earlier on. And he was a golden treasure. And we have Earl Dempsey Bridges, who is also a golden treasure. He's unable to be with us today, but we have Randy Ellis with the County Commission Chair and Preacher Grivens that's going to say a few things about him. But before we do that, let me give a little information about our program. So we kind of pause out of our busy lives each year to remember some of the Roane County history and the treasures that made Roane County what it is today. The Roane County Treasurer Program started in 2007 to honor individuals who have made significant contributions to Roane County through their dedicated public service, private and/or charitable organizations and work that they've done in these organizations. Roane County was established on November the 6th, 1801, and we're in the old courthouse today that was built. We were trying to figure out a little bit a while ago. It's one of 5 antebellum courthouses in Tennessee, 5 or 6, I think is all we have. We left this courthouse in about 74 when the new courthouse was right behind the location we're at now. But it's kind of fitting that we may want to go and do all of our treasures in this courthouse in future years when we can gather together. But what we're doing this year is just bringing them individuals and families in one at a time. Due to COVID, we are asking the individuals with just their immediate family and friends to attend. And what we want to say to them, the ones that can make it, the ones that can't, is thank you. You know, something good may have come out of this COVID, and as we change our presentation of having everyone together, we never thought to video it before. But now we're videoing each individual, each treasure. We're having words spoken that can honor them and their memories captured on a YouTube channel. So hopefully you'll be able to see this one and 7 others this year on the YouTube channel. This program has had several names, from Roane Living Treasures to Roane County Founders Day to now we just call it Roane Treasures. The program was loosely established based on accomplishments of individuals, their age, and they were selected by commissioners from each representative district. The age is 70 plus for a treasure, 90 plus for a golden treasure. And these guidelines have been followed with some minor exceptions over the years. We've honored anywhere from 6, which is our districts, all the way up to I think 9. There are more treasures out there in our community that our neighbors and our family and our friends that a lot of times we think about. So we say to those who are listening to this on the YouTube channel, if you think of someone throughout the year, give our office a call. We'll write their name down. And when it comes to picking a treasure for 2021, we'll go back and review our list. So anytime during the year, you're welcome to give us a call with someone's name. So this year, here's some of the characteristics, some of the qualities of our treasures, golden and regular treasures. They're from the Baptist Presbyterian faith. They're Sunday school teachers. They're members of Masonic lodges. They've held jobs from working at the plants up in Oak Ridge, being electricians. We have a lawyer, a school teacher, a county attorney, and a county judge. Someone who worked at Eastman, then Union Carbide and Martin Marietta, which was all the contractors at Oak Ridge, and even at TVA. There's been some unique activities of some of them. We had one who worked on President Richard Nixon's helicopter. We had individuals who set up bowling pins back before they were automated. We have 2 Army veterans, one in the Korean War, one in World War II, or 2 in World War II, or maybe 1 Army one that was World War II, and 1 Navy individual that was World War II. We had also someone who served in the Navy for 20 years. We have someone from the U.S. Air Force and a Marine. Contributions include working with charitable organizations, Hands of Mercy, Habitat for Humanity. Some have served on utility boards and bank boards. Some have helped during the Hurricane Katrina, rebuilding churches and houses. Teachers, coaches, you name it. We span the spectrum of individuals in Roane County, and even this year, who are Roane treasures. We have a plaque here to my right that their names will be displayed on. This will be our 3rd plaque. I think we're at 74 treasures so far since 2007, and this will put us up in the 80s. So our golden treasure, recommended by Randy Ellis, Alan Hickman, Jr. Hendrickson, Ben Gann, Earl Dempsey Bridges. So we've got a picture of him here. Randy Ellis, the chairman of the county commission, Randy Griffiths, are going to say a few words about Earl Bridges.
Thank you to the county executive, and again, we want to thank everybody for watching today. Wish we could be here in person with our normal ceremony, but as 2020 has turned out, this has turned out to be the status quo. With me today is Pastor Randy Griffiths with Liberty Baptist Church, and Pastor Griffiths is not only the pastor of Earl Dempsey Bridges, he also went to church with me for several years at Swan Pond Baptist Church. So he's not only his pastor, but a lifelong friend. I thought it was important to have Randy here to talk about him also. Earl Dempsey Bridges was born October 18, 1921 in Union County, Tennessee, to Silas and Annie Walker Bridges. A little bit of note of interest there, which a lot of you don't know, but Dempsey Bridges is my great uncle, and his parents are my great grandparents. And my great grandparents, which would be his parents, lives out on Rose Bailey Lake, and now the home they live in and grew up in, Pastor Griffiths' youngest son, has bought that home and is currently renovating it. So there's a lot of connections that falls in there. On April 14th, 1936, him and his family moved to the Elverton community in Roane County. Mr. Bridges only attended school until the age of 12 when he became deathly ill with typhoid fever. From the age of 12 until 21 years of age, he worked on the family farm and also the family grocery store, Bridges Grocery in Elverton community. Mr. Bridges enlisted in the United States Army on August the 16th, 1942, where he seen combat in the infantry. After the war ended, he hauled coal to hospitals in Cologne, Germany. He was a recipient of the Bronze Star, Army Good Conduct Medal, American Campaign Medal, European and African, and World War II Victory Medal. He then returned home on January the 5th, 1946. He married the late Frances Bridges in 1946. They were married for 72 years until her death in 2018. Dempsey worked a brief time at the family grocery store again for a short stint in the Elverton community until his employment at X10, where he stayed employed until his retirement in 1983. Mr. and Miss Bridges has one daughter, Barbara Bridges. Mr. Bridges is currently a resident of the Jamestown Assisted Living Center in Kingston and a member of Liberty Baptist Church, also in Kingston. And like I said, he is my great uncle, and he turned 99 this year. He'll be 100 years old next year. I call and talk to him about it every other day, sharp as a tack. And every one of these dates that I give you all, he give me the precise day that he joined the Army and the precise day that he came back home. So I think that's amazing for that. He's a great man. He's a good man of God. He loved fishing. He's really biting at the chomps right now because he likes to get out and move around. He's not getting to because of the COVID. But he's a great man. I hope I can only live to be half of the man he has today. So with that, I'll give it to his pastor, Randy Griffiths.
Thank you, Randy. It's a privilege of mine to be here today to just say a few words about Dempsey Bridges. As Randy said, he was 99 years of age on the 18th of October. I think I was about 10 or 11 years old when we started attending Swampon Baptist Church. There was a man that always got the attention of the children because he handed out candy, gum, and that happened to be Dempsey Bridges. He wasn't just a man that we would go to for the candy and the gum, but he was a man that you just wanted to be around. He took a great interest in my younger brother Jeff and myself. He would take us to his home on Saturday. We would work in his garden, dig potatoes, and we would take the potatoes and put them underneath the house. I'd never done that before. And in the basement of his mother's house, we would take the potatoes, spread them out, and put this white powder, which was lime, on the potatoes to keep them. He took such an interest in us that after church on Sundays, he would ask my parents if we could spend the remainder of the day with him. We would do that. The highlight of the day is we would get to go to the Holiday Inn restaurant, and he would feed us there practically every Sunday. Now that's part of the history of this county. That restaurant is no longer there, but the memories to many people are. Well, as time went on, I began to pastor at Liberty Baptist Church. About 20 years ago, Dempsey and his wife Frances began attending our church. They came, they joined the church, and from that point I became their pastor. I would visit with them oftentimes and fellowship with them through their sicknesses, through their good times. And fortunately for both, they didn't have much sickness. Most of their time was very healthy and very successful. Back in the early 90s of Brother Dempsey's life, in the age of his early 90s, he underwent open heart surgery. I was very concerned about that. Went to the hospital to visit with him, and he told me, he said, they're telling me I have to have open heart surgery. And to my amazement, I have never seen a man in his 90s go through open heart surgery the way he did. After surgery, he went through his recovery. He was back home, riding his mower, cutting grass, working in his garden, doing everything that he always done before. Just an amazing man. Not only was he an amazing man, but he served our country in World War II. He didn't talk about it very much. He had some plaques at his house, and you could see the different accomplishments that Dempsey had made in his time of war, but he never let war affect him. It didn't get him to the place that it has a lot of people. He was still successful. He loved people. He loved his country, and he loved God. One thing that I can say, not only an honor to be his pastor, but I believe Dempsey Bridges has had a part in molding my life from a young child to the success that God has given me in this very day. As Randy said just a moment ago, my youngest son is remodeling the house that Dempsey's mother had lived in, the same house that as an 11-year-old boy that I crawled underneath to spread out potatoes. My son is now working and redoing that house and purchased it. He was under that basement just recently, supporting the floor. And I was telling my son that I was under that basement many years ago. Those are some great memories. Brother Dempsey Bridges has been a supreme blessing to Roane County. I don't know the proper words to say, but such an asset that he has been to this county. This is the second recipient of this award that's come from men of my church. I count it a privilege to know Dempsey Bridges and to call him my friend. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Pastor Randy, for your kind words for Mr. Earl Dempsey Bridges and Mr. Bridges from Roane County Government, from Ron Woody. We want to say thank you for your service in the military and your service to our country and to our county, and for what all you've done and all the people you've led and had an influence on. So what we have for you, and we'll give it to Randy or Randy, right? So we have a plaque, we have a certificate. plaque. You're a golden treasure. We appreciate everything you've done for Roane County. Let's get a picture up here. Can you zoom in on that and give us the, can you see that okay? Earl Dempsey Bridges. Randy, if you'll take this plaque to him, we sure would appreciate it. His name will be displayed prominently on a plaque in the Roane County Courthouse. Mr. Bridges, thank you for your service.